Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Movie Knights Roundtable Live. It is I, Dalton Burdett, with the amazing Nick Iricchio. Nick, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. It's Friday. I'm ready to party, have a good time here. We got a hell of a show.
I agree completely. And guys, before we get started, we have a ton of fun news stories to talk to you about, but there's a couple things off the top that I want to go over with you. And one, we currently have a partnership with NordVPN, where if you use our link, nordvpn.com/movienights, you can get some killer discounts. You can protect your online browsing information. You can browse things safely when you're at airports and hotels. Your internet will be a lot more secure, a lot more safe, and you can watch streaming services from other countries. I say that every time because you don't understand how cool it is until you've tried it. It's pretty amazing. So please partner up with us. That will be in the description at the end of the video. I'll put it in there for you guys. And also, if you're watching, please consider giving us a like and a subscribe. Comment in the live chat if you participate along. I'll pull you up on the screen like so and make you part of the conversation with us. It'll be a lot of fun. Or if you want to listen to our show audio only, they'll be available the next day on your podcasting app of choice. Nicholas, before we dive into our main topic stories, there are a few off the tops that we wanted to go over. And that's this. Let me get this, if I could just reach my utility belt. First off the top story, Ne Zha 2, which has been a prominent film in China, I believe. Let me fix this really quick. Will get an American release with Michelle Yeoh cast in the role. It's made all the money, according to the Chinese box office reports, which you can kind of remain skeptical of just because they don't have the same standards as us when it comes to their original films. However, it's no doubt that this film is a huge hit. Now it's coming over to America. I don't know that much about it, but I am interested in this. It's very interesting that they went and cast Michelle Yeoh as part of the English-speaking cast as well. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, and I think it's interesting, like you said, right? The $2 billion, it being one of the highest grossing movies of all time, according to China, I think is it's interesting. It's a very interesting pairing. You know, it's a very random pull for A24 to want to distribute, I guess. But I feel like if they saw profitability overseas, they're like, well, why would it not be equally as popular here? Especially if we get a star talent Oscar-winning actress like Michelle Yeoh. You know, I think it's very interesting to see. I've not seen Ne Zha 1, but I'll probably check it out just because I am just there's enough of a market that has piqued my curiosity, and I think that's kind of what A24 is banking on. It's like animated movie, Michelle Yeoh, some huge box office success, and so I'm interested to see.
I think the movie has a lot of fans over here where that likely had to either pirate the film or watch it in a very other creative ways. So I'm wondering, I think the opening weekend might pop off, kind of like how the kind of anime movies do pop off in their opening weekend. But, I hope it's great and it stays from weekend to weekend. But typically with those films, you see a big drop.
Well, what I am interested in is it going to be like a full theatrical release, or is it going to be like a 1 or 2 week like limited run?
It's a good question, but A24 could really be either.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think the article mentioned it.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. But guys, we're going to go to the next off the top. What do you think about Ne Zha 2 coming to America through A24? Let us know in the comments. Next off the top, Nick, this makes me very sad. A few weeks ago, we reported on the show that Roadhouse 2 was coming, but it came with good news, and that was the fact that Guy Ritchie was going to be directing Roadhouse 2. Which makes sense considering his relationship with Amazon and the films he's been doing there, whether it be through Prime only overseas and then theatrical here or vice versa. Guys, it pains me to say that Guy Ritchie has officially left Roadhouse 2 as the director. Apparently he left just weeks ahead of shooting. This came to us from the trades, I believe it was Deadline. There's no reason in the article as to why he left. But I think that's going to come out in the next few weeks, especially if there happens to be more drama surrounding the film, which we don't know about at this point. But I wouldn't be, with Doug Liman last time, he really went on a tirade about how it didn't get a theatrical release, and then you have Amazon saying it never was, and it was a whole back and forth. I don't know if that would be the issue for Guy Ritchie here, because dude just likes to work, man. He just likes to make stuff and keep going. Like, if you look at the number of films he's made in the past, 5 years, it's crazy how much this dude's been working. He's also got 2 hit shows. He's got The Gentleman, and is it Mob City? Whatever that show is. Mobland. It's been doing really well for him. Yes. So, dude's busy. I'm just very curious as to reason why he left. That's what I'm interested in. What were your thoughts when you heard this news?
Mostly just sad. No, I think Guy Ritchie's a great director. I mean, I always have a great time with his movies, and it was something, I watched The Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal. I enjoyed it enough. I didn't think it was anything too crazy, but I had a good time. And honestly, the way to get me interested in a sequel was to tell me that Guy Ritchie's directing it. So now I am a little saddened by it, and I am curious the reasoning behind it, because he has worked a lot with Amazon in the past and
Mm-hmm.
has released movies like on the streaming platform on Prime Video. So I am curious like what the holdup was on it. Maybe he just wasn't vibing with the script anymore. I'm curious with that, but I bet Amazon is scrambling to find a replacement director. And I am curious the route they're going to go, because Guy Ritchie is a tough name to follow. And obviously Doug Liman will not be returning. So I'm curious to see who they pull
Yeah, me
back
too.
from it. I kind of want to look at like Jake Gyllenhaal's like some of his more recent films that he's done out of curiosity, because I feel like sometimes when instances like this happen, they're like, oh, I worked with this guy in the past.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Let's get him in the running. So I would be curious to look into that. I haven't, but
Yeah,
it makes me sad. I like Guy Ritchie quite a bit.
me too. I think that Timo Tjahjanto, forgive me if I pronounced it wrong, keeps up the trend of Beekeeper 2 and Nobody 2 and ends up directing Roadhouse 2. I think that would be a
Do you
very
think
funny
they
thing.
have? Well, I guess are all those movies done?
Nobody 2 comes out in less than a month.
What about it comes out in less than a month?
Or in a month. It comes out August 15th.
And where has the marketing been?
There's a trailer for it.
I understand that, but where's the marketing been?
We're going to get a late push, that's how it is.
That is how it is, isn't it?
But Beekeeper 2, I think they've wrapped filming, so I think they're done filming.
Okay, so he might be ready and primed to go. That'd be interesting. That'd be a very interesting. Well, okay, I want to say that excites me,
Uh-huh.
but I have not seen any of Timo's.
Dude, you have tonight, watch The Night Comes for Us. It's such a fucking phenomenal action movie. And it's got the whole cast of The Raid in it. It's on Netflix.
I will watch that. But I've heard so much about this director, and then I'm just happy to be getting a Nobody and a Beekeeper too. So maybe
Yes.
he might be in the running. That might be an interesting point, but I feel like I can't project that because I haven't seen anything that he's done yet. I'm just excited about the concept of a Beekeeper and Nobody too.
That's fair.
I did, while we were pulling it up though, look at I pulled up Jake Gyllenhaal's IMDb to see some of his past movies, just to talk about the directors and stuff. First one, Roadhouse, Doug Liman, not happening.
Nope.
Right before that, The Covenant, Guy Ritchie, not happening. Ambulance, Michael Bay. Now,
Not happening.
do you think there's a chance?
He's
that
trying
Michael
to get that
Bay-
Transformers movie off the ground.
He really is, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. I would love this. I want it to be very clear. If Michael Bay was directing Roadhouse 2, I would immediately get hype again. Okay? I just don't think that he is under any circumstance.
Yeah, I don't really think. And then going back before that, I mean, not really a whole lot of stuff going on. So, Dan Gilroy.
No way.
Saw.
No way.
And then John Watts with Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man Far From Home. But I feel like he's more interested in like doing original stuff.
Probably, yeah.
I say from the Spider-Man director, but I think
Mhm.
like with Wolves and a potential Wolf sequel. I don't know. Who would you like to see? Timo, is that your pick?
Yes, that's my
your
pick. The king of sequels, and we haven't even seen the sequels he's done yet. Maybe they're terrible, but The Night Comes for Us is amazing. I stand by that. I stand by it. But guys, what do you think about the unfortunate news that Guy Ritchie has dropped out of directing Roadhouse 2? Let us know as we move on to our final off the top. And this happened hours ago. Literally, where it was a text exchange of, "Oh," with all capital letters, just being like, "We got to add this to the show." Lionsgate, as you know, has had, let's call it, not the best couple of years. The only real hits they've had are the John Wick films, post-Hunger Games, really. And Saw was always a hit for them, but they can't get a new Saw movie off the ground, and they're only a half partner on it now. And it's kind of an interesting predicament for them. You can go through all the movies they've made the past 2 years and how much money they've lost. It's pretty sad. And Ballerina did underperform. Now, you might be thinking, well, that sounds like they may be up for purchase. It would appear so, but not by the people you would think, because it just came out in the trades that Legendary Pictures is considering a deal to acquire Lionsgate. This is fucking crazy. If this happens, that is absolutely batshit insane. From the studio that brought you Dune can also bring you Saw 11. This is the best thing I've ever heard. Now, I'm wondering if they got their payout from when they tried to sue Warner Brothers over the HBO Max thing, and they're like, oh, we can just buy Lionsgate now. I'm wondering if it has something to do with that. I'm curious. But I'm throwing it over to you. I was shocked when I saw this. I didn't even think Legendary was in the position to buy, let alone Lionsgate, a whole ass production company. And Legendary, when you think about it, it's really only a production company. So if they buy Lionsgate, they're like buying their own distribution, really. What do you think?
Because didn't Legendary also do the did they do the Godzilla franchise as well?
That's correct.
Isn't that is Legendary. So I mean they have a lot of IPs, but yeah, Lionsgate the distribution, who is known for making great financial decisions when it comes to distribution by deciding to pick up Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis.
Yep.
So, it kind of came out of left field. I'm excited about the concept. Let's get Legendary making a Borderlands sequel, and let's do it right.
Jesus. If Legendary made a Borderlands sequel, that would be like the most unhinged bingo card. Like no one has that.
I mean, Legendary's been out there with some sleeper hits, so I mean, like I feel like they've been racking up some box office dollars on the back end, on the down low, and they're like, all right, time to start expanding that portfolio.
Yeah, and like I said, I would not be surprised if they got a big payout from Warner Brothers from that whole thing. I can't remember how that went down.
Even looking at ahead with like Lionsgate just from this year, you had Den of Thieves 2, Pantera, Flight Risk, The Unbreakable Boy. And then coming out later on in this year, another Simple Favor they handled, The Surfer, the Nick Cage movie, Hurry Up Tomorrow, Ballerina, Diablo, everything's going to be great and off the grid. They really don't have a whole lot coming out through the rest of the year. The Long Walk, they're doing The Long Walk. And now you see me, and then Hunger Games Sunrise on the Reaping is kind of really their big hit.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to see when it goes through, because I mean, if they acquire this pretty quickly, they also have the Michael Jackson biopic coming out as well.
That's true.
So I mean, I think it's a great investment for Legendary. Just to, Legendary makes very good movies, in my opinion, or very entertaining movies, very blockbuster movies. So I think that looking at the IPs that Lionsgate has, I think that's a great choice.
But you just reminded me, they're in huge legal trouble with the Michael Jackson movie as well, if you recall, because
they are. That is accurate.
They included in the script someone that the Jackson family promised to never include, and they had to like redo like the whole second half of the movie. So
yep.
That's money. That costs money.
You're taking on some legal troubles as well, but that's the cost of doing business. I mean, listening to the names I bought off, I think it's worth it just to buy the Hunger Games rights, right?
Probably. I mean, Lionsgate also for a long time was just like the go-to, like before Blumhouse, they were like the go-to like low-budget horror movie studio, and maybe it could be something to do with that. So, we'll have to see. But guys, before we move on to our main topic stories, I want to go through a couple live chats here. Turniphead says, you mean you didn't like the Lionsgate classic Arthur the King? Was that the one with the dog and Mark Wahlberg and Simu Liu?
That sounds right, because they also did Flight Risk. Yeah, that was definitely Arthur the King.
Was it great? No. It was a great mom movie. You know what I mean? And if you have a dog, you get emotional, but
You saw Arthur the King?
I did.
In theaters?
Correct.
On your own accord?
On my own accord. I think it might have been a press screening.
Interesting.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at me go.
Look at you go.
She also says a Michael Jackson movie is coming. Yes, and not only that, they're spending an ungodly amount of money on this Michael Jackson movie, and it's being directed by, is it Anton Fuqua? making it?
Yes, it is.
He's a great director. So we'll see how
And
that
there's
goes.
rumors that it'll be split into two
Into
parts,
two
which I think
parts?
was confirmed. And Michael Jackson's nephew is
Yes,
playing him,
Jafar
I believe.
Jackson is playing him.
Yes. There definitely won't be anything about that movie that's going to cause online discourse.
No, just look at the comments on our YouTube short about it. Turniphead also adds, are you even a real Michael Jackson fan if you didn't go to the This Is It midnight premiere? Yo, that is deep cut. You aged yourself.
We should bring back midnight movie premieres. That'd be fun.
They would. I would call out of work a lot more confidently.
Yeah.
For sure.
I can. I got Superman tonight at midnight.
Yeah. Calixer adds that dog can run. It sure can. It can swim too. And Turniphead said, I didn't even watch Arthur the King. Understandable.
I don't think anyone did except for Dalton.
Let's move on to our first main topic story, and that is this. You can easily recognize this image as being from Night at the Museum. And there are some updates on that franchise because they are finally developing a new Night at the Museum film. And here are the details that we have. We're taking this from Deadline. Tripper Clancy, who wrote Yo, I did not realize it was... I did not realize it was the writer of Stuber. I love that fucking movie.
Yeah.
I was
like, wait, why do you know who Tripper Clancy is?
Is writing the script. Oh, man. Sean Levy and Dan Levine will produce for 21 Laps. While specifics as to the plot are under wraps, the film is said to be a new story set at the museum with all new characters. I was originally going to go on here and talk about, because all I knew about it was that Sean Levy wasn't directing. I was about to come on here and tell you that, Sean Levy gets a lot of shit, but he nailed these movies, and he should really come back. Dude, I don't give a fuck. The writer of Stuber is on board. I'm in, dude. That movie's great. I don't care what anybody says. A lot of people try to tell me, it's like an average movie. It's a whatever movie. That movie is great. It's funny. It has great character development. There are really great actors in small roles for no reason. And the chemistry between Camille Nanjiani and Dave Bautista was excellent. I love Stuber. I'll Die on the Hill. It's a great film. Nick, thoughts on Night at the Museum coming back?
I mean, I enjoyed Stuber for... listen, I grew up loving the Night at the Museum franchise. It was always one of my favorites. It does make me sad that Sean Levy's not going to be behind it. It does make me sad that as of now, there's really not any Ben Stiller involvement.
Yeah.
And not least we forget also his son in the last movie is played by Skylar Gisadiro, whoever's playing Jimmy Olsen in Superman currently. So, I mean, and obviously Robin Williams, Owen Wilson, Steve Coogan, I mean, just the entire cast, Rami Malek, So I am curious to see what kind of star power they get coming back into it. Obviously, a lot of these people weren't as big names at the time as they are now, such as like a Rami Malek. So I'm curious to see. I think it's weird that it'll be set in the same museum as what the article's suggesting. I think I would kind of like maybe something a little different. Like, let's go to a different museum. Let's get some different characters, kind of, they're just doing that reboot thing of and the museum has gone under updates. I do kind of hope they get Ricky Gervais back as the museum owner. I think that'd be fun. But, I mean, I am excited. I'm cautiously excited about it because it's a franchise I really love. I think I'll get more excited as, we start getting more.
And he's gone, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get him back in here. The timing on that was incredible. I
got so heated about Night at the Museum, I had to. I am curious because I feel like this will be a scenario where they get one or two characters to come back. I could see an Owen Wilson and Steve Coogan reprising their roles as those characters. So, we'll see the talent they get behind it. We'll see who comes in to direct it. I think it's something to definitely keep on the radar.
For sure. I want to go through some live chats before we move on to our next topic. Turnip adds, I got a special lanyard for going to the premiere talking about This Is It, the Michael Jackson movie, and adds that she was the coolest 12-year-old. Good, as you should be. Morgan Bernard says, Arthur the King was a great movie, 5 stars, Morgan never change. Calixer putting Rip Robin Williams, of course. Turnip no Teddy Roosevelt, I'm out, understand. Calixer, let good things die, and then no Ben Stiller, no Robin Williams. Let me guess, no Owen Wilson next. It's not Night at the Museum anymore. Turniphead said bye, Nick, and then Calixer said they took him out.
The monkey is still alive, so there's a possibility.
Yeah, that the monkey come back, as Turniphead says in here.
I would be shocked if they don't get one person to come back.
Here's what I'll say, and I'm gonna pull up Calixer's comment again, and I'm only picking on Calixer because I know him personally, where he says no Ben Stiller, no Robin Williams. Let me guess, blah blah blah. It's not Night at the Museum anymore. One could argue that 10 Cloverfield Lane was not Cloverfield anymore, but was it a great film? It was. Just throwing it out there. It's a very specific, tailored response for him, if anyone's wondering why I did that specific poll.
I liked the Jonah Hill cameo in the second one when he's like, my name is Brundon. He's like, it's Brandon. It was such a random thing to include in the movie. I think about that scene probably once a month. It did a number for people on Name Brandon. They probably had it out rough in 2010?
Maybe. Yeah. Let's see. Calixer adds it shouldn't have been a Cloverfield movie and that they bought the rights to a finished script and you know it. Yes, but they did the same thing for Die Hard 3, and I still think that should be a Die Hard movie. I'm just saying. Let's see.
Wait, hold on. Die Hard 3 was a movie that they bought a script for and just decided to make it Die Hard?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure every Die Hard sequel was. But Die Hard 3 was a spec script called Simon Says, and then they turned it into a Die Hard movie.
All right, I'm gonna come out with a hot take here.
Oh, okay.
Die Hard 3, aka Die Hard with a Vengeance, it fucking rules. That movie's great.
Buddy, I gotta tell you, I don't think it's a hot take at all. I think if anyone thinks that, doesn't think that, they should go fuck themselves.
I think that it might be my second favorite.
As you should. I'm with you. We're on the same wavelength right now. I love Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Jeremy Irons?
So good.
Come on.
So good.
Sam Jackson. Now we're just naming actors and being like that guy, you know? But I mean, I'm a big fan of Die Hard. Here's what they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
They should have come out with one in the last, 4 years, and they could have called it, do the aging John McClane story, right? Old Habits Die Hard.
It would have been great.
I've always proposed an animated movie called Die Hard ... again, and it's John McClane versus zombies.
That'd be amazing. I'm on board with this. Write it. Start writing it now. I'll get it produced. No problem.
I don't know how to animate.
No problem. Let's see. Turniphead adds, at this rate, they're going to get Chris Pratt for the new night security. That's funny. Calixer adds, the last 3 minutes connecting to the worst part of the movie is the worst part of the movie. Turniphead says, if you take out the Cloverfield parts of 10 Cloverfield Lane, then it would have made it a better movie. Disagree. Maybe even a perfect movie. Disagree. Calixer says, are you saying that this Night at the Museum movie is a different script to the museum coming alive and they just bought the rights? No. I'm just saying that it looks like they're just going to make a new movie set at the museum. Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. Dylan Stoner is in the chat and he says, justice for Justin Long's career. Abso-fucking-lutely. Fucking love Justin Long.
I saw his name in the trades recently. He was just cast in something, I think.
Was he? And we missed it? Damn it. We failed him. We failed Justin Long.
I'm going to type in Justin Long news and see what happens. Yes. Kyle MacLachlan, Justin Long joined Penn Badgley and Megan Fahey in Amazon MGM Studios' You Deserve Each Other.
Oh, this went right over my head.
It is an adaptation of the novel by Sarah Hogel, sorry. I can't read. The feature is budgeted in the mid-20s range. Described as a lovers to enemies to lovers rom-com, You Deserve Each Other follows Naomi and Nick, a couple who are about to get married and live happily ever after, except for one thing, they've fallen completely out of love. With the wedding rapidly approaching and its pressure mounting, they both resolve to secretly push the other into calling off the wedding using all means at their disposal, pranks, sabotage, and all-out emotional warfare. Justin Long will play best friend to Penn Badgley's Nick, while McLaughlin will play the character's father. So it sounds like Justin Long will be the best man, quote unquote, in this movie.
Okay, I'm in. I'm down. Sorry that we failed you, Mr. Long. We should have reported on that. Calixer adds in the chat, I disagree with your argument, Justice for 10 Cloverfield Lane. Your argument doesn't make any sense because I brought up Die Hard and then you went crazy. On Justin Long, he said his career is great. He does real estate and measures basements. That's one of the funniest fucking theater movie moments I've ever experienced, was that moment in Barbarian. That was fantastic. It was fantastic. I can't even move on because like he's so wrong about it not being a Night at the Museum movie. Like I'm stuck on this. I can't get past this. This is amazing. They got Nick again. Night at the Museum has shot Nick again. They've hit the second Nick. This is getting out of hand. Now they got him again. What's up, buddy?
I didn't even say anything that time. I disappeared. I don't know what I did wrong.
Calix says we were talking about Night at the Museum. I know. And then when you brought up 10 Cloverfield Lane and said that wasn't even a Cloverfield script, I said, I know, neither was Die Hard 3. And I would say Die Hard is still a Die Hard movie. And and then you're like, but then Night at the Museum, was that a spec script that was bought? And then I said, no. And then you were like, then I disagree. And it's like, you brought up the point that 10 Cloverfield Lane shouldn't be Cloverfield because it was a separate script. So how is it different? So now if they bought Night at the Museum as a spec script, it suddenly is, even though you just said it wasn't?
Wait, I'm lost.
So making it a whole point.
Cloverfield was a script that was bought?
Yes.
Oh, you won him over.
Guy Elixir says they keep killing him talking about you. And he says, oh, I follow now. Yes, sorry. I was going to bully you until we got to a point. I wasn't going to. The rest of the show was canceled. I hope you know that I was like, no, we're going to stay on this until we get this figured out. But guys, what do you think about the new Night at the Museum movie coming from the writer of Stuber, which I'm fucking so excited about? Let me know in the comments as we move on to the next story. I don't even need to introduce this next story, Nicholas. All I have to do is show them this picture. That's a story.
That's the news.
That's the news. Hailee Steinfeld is the GOAT. That's all you need to know. But she has picked her next project, which we've heard from the trades after the success of Sinners and just the massive success she's had before that. She's been extremely picky about the next roles that she's going to pick. And the next role that she's decided is a movie called Winter Games, and it stars Miles Teller, who graduated from the same high school as me. Here are the details that we have. This comes to us from The Hollywood Reporter. Hailee will star alongside Miles Teller in a Paramount Pictures movie. Paul Downs Calizo from Brittany Runs a Marathon will direct the film. The story is set in the high-stakes arena of the Winter Olympic Games, and per the studio, centers on a perpetually overlooked skier and self-sabotaging hockey legend that collide at their breaking points. Their unexpected connection threatens her chance for a medal and his shot at a comeback as they navigate romance and redemption in the Olympic Village. This sounds right up my fucking alley, dude. I can't wait. Cannot wait for this. This sounds awesome. I have no idea if it's true. It doesn't seem like it is. But either way, just give people beef and add sexual tension. I'm in. They don't even need sexual tension. They just need beef. That sexual tension just makes it better.
Like
I'm
Challengers.
There. Yes. Correct. Oh, God, I love Challengers. It's such a good movie. But I think this is really exciting. I think Hailee Steinfeld's one of the best actors working today. I think Miles Teller is a great actor. I can't wait to watch this. I'm still mad at myself. I still haven't watched The Gorge, which has him and Anya Taylor-Joy in it. I still need to watch that. But Nick, what are your thoughts on Winter Games? Does this interest you? And are you excited to see Hailee Steinfeld on screen again?
It does. I'm interested because this seems like it has all the makings of something a little more comedy skewing. So I am very interested to see Hailee Steinfeld get back into her comedy groove. So I think that and it's a great casting together. I'm a big fan of Miles Teller. I never saw The Gorge either, but I like Top Gun Maverick and I like Whiplash. I don't care for Fantastic, but we can't blame that all on Miles Teller. So I think it's exciting. It seems like a fun complex. I saw Brittany Runs the Marathon. I thought it was a good movie. I didn't think it was anything, oh my God, this is incredible. But I'm excited to see it. I think they got a good group of people working on this.
No, I agree. I agree completely. And guys, Please let us know in the comments, what do you think about Hailee Steinfeld joining the cast of Winter Games alongside Miles Teller? Let us know. Before we move on to our next story, a couple more live chats. Hannah in the live chat just says, Hailee, with very excited emojis. I agree. Nick, you fuck. I didn't see this. Hailee, I'll see you at the Winter Games. Miles, say that again. God. Oh, Fan Four Stick. We should just rewatch Fan Four Stick at a party of some time. That'd be fun. I think it'd be fun.
I would love to go back to like the first episode of the show, which was you and me on the floor and with a microphone.
Oh yeah.
And I just go on a rant about Fan Four Stick. I would love to pull that audio clip.
I have no idea where that is. That might have been on a version of the show that no longer exists. That might be gone.
It's possible. That was a great rant though.
So, okay. I'm gonna tell a story about you. I hope you're okay with it.
Oh boy.
In the first iteration of the show we ever tried, which does not exist anymore, Nick made a joke because Suicide Squad had not come out yet. That's where we were. That's how old we are. And we were talking about the upcoming Suicide Squad movie. And I just brought up in the conversation, I was like, hey, listen, the last person that played the Joker won an Oscar. You never know what could happen with this role. And then Nick, without missing a beat, just goes, nah, Jared Leto would have to die first, then maybe he'll get it. I just remember being like, Jesus Christ, dude.
That is dark. I was dark in college. Jeez. But lo and behold, the person who took on the mantle after Jared Leto won an Oscar.
And yet he lives.
I was... Count your days, Joaquin Phoenix.
You can't run forever, Tom Hanks.
What's Joaquin Phoenix got next? What's he got?
Well, he's got Eddington coming out next week.
Oh,
that's
crap.
Exciting.
Have you seen the marketing going on for that movie?
Oh, yeah.
It's
yeah.
insane, because for those that don't know, a big part of the movie kind of takes place with like kind of the social media during COVID. Mm-hmm. And so they have made TikToks of the actors, and they're just posting their TikToks from the movie into the TikTok feed, not promoting it as the movie. They made accounts for the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of political stuff. It's a lot of like conspiracy driven things, and just all the comments of people taking it seriously and everyone else being like, bro, this is from a movie. Shut up. Like, it's so, it's a great marketing stunt, and it's just so funny to read through the comments, but I would not say I'm overly excited for that movie. Beau is Afraid. He scorned me pretty hard.
Yeah, but the first 90 minutes of Beau is Afraid is pretty fantastic. Calixer adds in the chat, you need to watch The Gorge, Cool Monsters. Dude, I know. I want to watch it so bad. I'm going to watch it soon, I promise. And he also adds, Jaws 2, Jaws documentary, Fan Four Stick, great movie day. Tell me I won't do it. I will do it. I'm watching that Jaws documentary tonight, by the way.
2 Jaws?
2 Jawses? Guys, this show's off the fucking rails. What do you... What fucking story did we even just talk about? It was Hailee Steinfeld. What do you think about Hailee Steinfeld joining? I already did that. I'm pretty sure I already did that. Fucking, we're moving on to the main topic. We're moving on to the thumbnail you clicked on. Sorry, it took 33 fucking minutes. That's how we do things here. Guys, the Wall Street Journal put out a fucking hell of an article. And we're going to go through some bullet points. It's an absolutely fucking batshit article. Please read this article on Wall Street Journal.
To me, it reminds me of the article that came out recently that we covered that was like, hey, here's everything that happened with Marvel Studios.
Yeah.
Except this one's more insane.
Yeah. When the article has this image on it, you know shit's about to get fucked up in this article. Guys, just listen to this. So Wall Street Journal basically just did a big breakdown of DC. And one of the things they mentioned, which is a thumbnail you clicked on, is that at one point they reached out to Kevin Feige to try to convince him to come over and run DC, which is insanity. But that's not even the craziest thing in this article. There's so much stuff. Here are just some of the bullet points for you. Let me get it pulled up for you here. It's nutty. David Zaslav dismissed developing the Tasha Coates Black Superman movie in 2022, calling it too woke. Fucking unbelievable. I remember when they announced that movie was being developed, J.J. Abrams was going to help produce it. Coates is an excellent writer. Jesus Christ, Zaslav. He also spoke with The Rock on how to fix DC, But talks ended after Black Adam flopped. He was going to meet with The Rock. And this lines up with reports that The Rock was going over Walter Hamada, going straight for DeLuca and Abdi to try to get Henry Cavill in the movie. My dude, if Black Adam made like $600 million at the box office, we would be in The Rock's DC right now. James,
I kind of want to live in that alternate reality just for a minute. I
just to
want
peek in it.
to cut the fabric reality, just peek in, see what they got going on, and come back.
James Gunn is considering TV spinoffs for the characters of Mr. Terrific and Jimmy Olsen. Fucking give it to me immediately. Won't spoil Superman here. If you want to see our reviews on the channel, if you want us to do a spoiler review, let us know. We'll do it this weekend. Yes, to both of those. And also, anyone who's never read or is not familiar with the Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen comics, Jimmy Olsen goes through some of the craziest bullshit. Like, way worse than Superman ever went through. Jimmy Olsen, like, there's a famous meme that's like, average Superman comic, and it has Superman, and it has him, like, dealing with kids and animals, and it says Jimmy Olsen subplot, and he's strapped to a nuke. And it's like, that's exactly what those are like. They're insane. By the way, they're so insane. This is true. I'm pretty sure, Nick, I want you to fact check me on this. I'm pretty sure that Darkseid's first appearance and the New Gods' first appearance in DC was in Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. I'm pretty sure that's true.
That is correct.
I'm telling you, that's how crazy that shit is.
That is crazy. I just clicked an eBay link. It's $400 to purchase.
Worth it.
Crazy. That's
Worth
like
it.
What?
Yeah.
That's like introducing Thanos in. I can't even think of a good comparison.
And like Kat Dennings Darcy comic spinoff, and you introduce Thanos.
That's so funny.
And then, of course, the last bullet point we want to touch on. After the Snyderverse ended, Warner Brothers approached Kevin Feige in an attempt to lure him from Marvel Studios. And how the article describes it is that the talks went nowhere. Nick, I want to know so fucking badly what they mean by that. I want to know, did he just not respond? Because that would be the funniest version of this. It's just like he left them on red. Or do you think he actually was like, so what does your plan look like? Like, what are you looking for out of me? Because when the Snyderverse ended, this is like 2017. I'm assuming they mean before Zack Snyder's Justice League and the pandemic. That would be like right before Infinity War is about to open. So Kevin Feige might have been in a position of like, I could leave after Endgame. You know, like this could be like...
Yeah.
So like, I just want to know how seriously he took it. Like, was it like a, hey, like, let's chat, and then they chatted, and he was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on over there, and then he just left? Or they were like, come run DC, and he was like, yeah, okay. And like just walked away. Like,
was there like a courtesy lunch?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Was it like an email thread where he went, "Ha, no"?
And here's what you have to understand.
I would love to see the offer. How much do you pay Kevin Feige to leave Marvel?
Oh my God! Hold on, let me Google just how much Kevin Feige makes.
You think that's public information?
We're gonna find out.
Because you know what I mean, like that. I can't imagine he's underpaid, you know? So, like, what does DC have to offer?
Okay, here
and
we
has
go.
he spoken before about, like, DC character? Like, it really seems that maybe it's just because he's the head of Marvel Studios that he's really just 100% all in on Marvel. Like, does he have that same love? Because, like, to me, it seems like James Gunn, like, DC was his comics growing up. And I feel like that's the flip with Kevin Feige.
And I was going to get into that, which I will in a second, but according to like a net worth website, and so please take this with a grain of salt, we're not saying this is true, he allegedly makes $25 million a year. Minimum wage. And that offer would have to be way more. Well, I know for James Gunn's first year, I think they only paid him $4 million to run DC Studios for the first year.
Well, he's getting box office back end from every single one of these movies. Guaranteed.
But he's going to end up making a lot more than that. But going back to DC and Kevin Feige's first job is he worked for Richard Donner. he interned at at Donner's company with Lauren Schuler Donner and Richard Donner, and
Oh wow.
he adored them. And they worked on X-Men, which is why he started working on X-Men. He was the associate producer because he worked with the Donners, who worked on X-Men. They were producers, and he talks all the time. And even if you read like the book about Marvel that came out, the oh my god, the Reign of Marvel Studios, and just even from Kevin Feige's own words, like when he talks about like what were comic book movies that made you like inspired you and wanted you to get into this business, he always says 1978 Superman. Like it's a great movie, and he talks about it all the time. Yo, okay, hold on. We got to point this out. Amazing fellow critic from the the Critics Association of Central Florida. I always get it fucked up. Anthony Perez, the amazing Anthony Perez. By the way, guys, everyone go check out his channel. It's awesome, and his reviews are fantastic. Let's pull up his chat right here. He says, it would have been interesting to see, but I'm glad he didn't, because I wouldn't want these two franchises to feel exactly the same, though some may say we're headed that way now with Gunn running the show now. Very interesting thing to point up. I think it's true and not true. I think that Gunn running DC, he now gets to do things that he was kind of held back on at Marvel, but I'm not saying that's necessarily entirely a good thing. I really liked the Superman movie, but James Gunn also talks about how Kevin Feige would give notes on his films, and that Kevin Feige was always very brutally honest with him. Or he would say, like, I don't think this works, or I think this does work. Like, he talks about it all the time. And, James Gunn also having to work with Peter Safran, I think that James Gunn's biggest issue is that he is going to be wanting to direct a lot of movies, when the problem is he has to be the lead creative producer. So he has to oversee everything and run everything, but that creative itch is going to be like, man, but I want to direct this one. And that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time to be taken up, and it's going to be interesting. But to your point about just Kevin Feige coming over, I'm also glad he didn't come over and run DC. I think that it would have been weird, and would it have felt exactly the same? Maybe. Nick, do you think it would have, to Anthony's point, do you think it would have felt exactly the same?
I have kind of interesting thoughts on that, because I think it only would have felt the same because I feel like when Guardians came out and Guardians 2, right, that formula of like the humor, the banter, the team, I feel like because of how successful Guardians was and how well raved it was, a lot of the Marvel projects post that started to kind of feel a little more Guardians-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of that group, everyone's got a little more edge to them. So I think it really only became a feeling like that because James Gunn set that template. And I think now with some of their newer projects, Marvel's kind of finally getting away from that. But I think that it would have felt a little bit the same, but because to me, like something like Thor Ragnarok, Thor Love and Thunder, right, felt like it was trying to replicate that like James Gunn style, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see it being like that. But that being said, I feel like that he did a great job with Superman. So I do agree with your point though about that creative itch, because like when Justice League rolls around, he's gonna be like, well, I want to be the one to do Justice League.
Yeah.
I want to be the one to put Batman and Superman together again, and I think he's gonna have to learn to show that restraint with things, especially if if he wants to explore the Suicide Squad more. Is that something he wants to take on personally? Is he gonna have the trust to, hand that mantle over to someone else? I think it's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out.
And not only that, from the flip side, have you ever had a job where you worked with somebody and they were your peer, and then they get promoted over you, and you're like, this motherfucker, like this guy got promoted? I wonder, like, will James Mangold take notes from James Gunn, or is he going to look at him like, get the fuck, like, get away from me?
Oh, I didn't even think about it. Yeah, like the talent that they get behind it.
Yeah. Like, I'm very curious about that. Like, how does that approach happen? That's going to be a very interesting thing to see that works out.
Well, I feel like that's where Peter Safran comes into play, right? Like, I feel like Peter Safran's going to be like the hammer of Baravia, Like, I think he's going to be the one that's kind of making the tough calls when it comes to stuff like that, But I could see, like something like Matt Reeves just turned in the script for Batman Part 2. Like, but that we're kind of not giving James Gunn the benefit of the doubt. We have to see it a little more in action. How can he do that? When Batman 2 comes out and we look at it, will Matt Reeves come and say like, oh, James Gunn had this suggestion and we incorporated it, I think to see that would be interesting, how that kind of all plays out. Because it's kind of hard too, right? Because Kevin Feige is someone that's not a director; he's
No.
just a producer, Versus James Gunn maybe has a very distinct vision for how all the movies need to look to make the universe feel cohesive. So I think that I could see that being the deterrent there.
Yeah, and I'd be so curious if Kevin Feige ever did direct a movie, but also I'm wondering, like, I still just think about that story from the She-Hulk writers' room where he almost like parted ways with the showrunner over the Kevin robot wearing a hat. They got Nick again, dude. They sniped him. All right, I take it you didn't hear what I said.
Kevin Feige got me with that one. He heard me talking
yes,
about
Kevin
Marvel.
Feige sniped him.
Oh, did you make that joke?
Yeah. But what's it called? I think that I always think to the story of Kevin Feige almost parting ways with the showrunner of She-Hulk when she was like, "Oh, the Kevin robot should have a hat," and he's like, "Robots don't wear hats. That's stupid." Like, I just think that's so funny to me.
I've got Kevin on my desk.
Kevin, yes, perfect. It's perfect. All right, but go ahead, and then I'll go to some more live chats.
Yeah, because I think the live chats are going to stem into some fun questions, but I had a few thoughts on some of the bullet points from the article as well. The Black Superman movie, calling it too woke, I think is ironic because everyone is calling this one woke.
Yeah, right? Fucking stupid. I hate God. I hate when people do that. Oh, no one wants to see me go on that rant. Go on.
It's not everyone. It's the group of people that like to use the term woke.
Yeah,
but
fucking A.
He spoke with The Rock about how to fix DC. That's just hysterical to me. I just would love to be in those conversations. I hope The Rock comes out with the plan, and I just am curious how integral Black Adam was to that universe moving forward. I think is very interesting to see. TV spinoffs for Mr. Terrific and Jimmy Olsen. Yes, 100%. Absolutely. Let them both happen. But here's the thing. You know what I would prefer from a Jimmy Olsen project? I want I just want 10-minute shorts before the movie of Jimmy Olsen. Like, I want little Jimmy Olsen short films, I don't know if I want a full series. I mean, I love the actor. I love the character. I thought he was great in the movie. I just want to see him pop up more. Like, yeah, let's just film a bunch of 10-minute skits. Let's just put those in front like Pixar shorts.
I want them to put in-universe Jimmy Olsen on The Bachelor. That's what I want. And if you've seen the movie, you know that that's an amazing idea. Let me go to some live chats really quick.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dylan Stoner says, TRCU, The Rock Cinematic Universe. Absolutely. Morgan Bernard says that she loves that idea. Maverick Defender has some comments about Superman. He says Superman was very fast-paced like the Marvels. It did move like a fast pace. Kind of felt like Will Smith's Hancock. Interesting. I disagree, but I see the point. He said it felt like a live-action kids cartoon. In a way, it almost felt like a live-action episode of the Superman animated series. But I wouldn't say that was necessarily a negative thing. Anthony says, appreciate the kind words. No problem, dude, of course. And I agree, James will definitely not have that ceiling that will hold him back. It'll be curious to see how the DC looks 10 years from now. That is the question. How will it look 10 years from now? Solely Stream says, James Mangold Swamp Thing has got to be my most anticipated DCU movie. Please be good. I want to see it so fucking badly. I can't wait for that as well. But I think he's making a Star Wars movie first. Allegedly. Yeah, we know how things go. Yeah, we know how things go when people sign up to direct Star Wars movies if they happen. Anthony also says, which directors would you like to see play in this new DCU? Ooh, buddy.
That's a tough one. Well, while you're thinking more about what other projects do we have coming? Well, we have Supergirl, right, being directed by Craig Gillespie, which very excited for. I love that director choice for that movie. I think that's gonna be a great project. You have the Lantern series. You have Peacemaker season 2, and then what is Did Booster Gold get canceled? I think
it's stalled.
It's stalled. Same thing with Sergeant Rock. Same thing with Authority.
Mm-hmm.
And then Clayface is not in the DCU, right?
It is.
Wait, Clayface is DCU?
Yep.
Oh, I thought it was an Elseworlds thing.
Nope.
I think Clayface might be my most anticipated over Swamp Thing. I'll be honest with you. Honestly, I was really looking forward to Luca Guadagnino's Sergeant Rock.
Dude, I was too.
I'm very sad about the delays on that one, but I think I'll solidify my answer. I'll go with whatever I just said, Clayface.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to say. Like, what directors do I want to see? I'm going to give you two very different directors as answers. And I'm also picking directors that I think, like, actually would direct movies in the DCU. Like, I'm not, like, obviously, like, I'd love Steven Spielberg to come make a movie, but, like, I don't think he would. Here's my two. Again, very different picks. I would love to see Chad Stahelski direct something in the DCU. I know he's got Highlander coming out, which is separate, but I think his eye for action and his eye for slow but subtle world building is, I think, something that could be very interesting for the new DCU, and I think James Gunn would find that very interesting to kind of have him, especially if there's a part of the world that's not fully fleshed out yet that he kind of wants to organically grow, kind of like those John Wick movies do, where each movie you learn a little bit more about the world, but it feels like it was always part of it. Mm-hmm. I feel like Chad Stahelski has that talent. And then on the flip side, I would love to see Coralie Fairgeau direct in this DCU. That is the director of the movie The Substance. Mm-hmm. I think whatever she's got going on, if she came in and said, let me do something in DC, you better give her whatever fucking movie she wants, dude. Like, it takes such a distinct vision to make a film like that, like The Substance. And her style is almost like a beautiful mirror to James Gunn's when it comes to R-rated stuff, like when it comes to like the Suicide Squad and Creature Commandos. Like, I could see Coralie Fairgeau making something in that vein, but just going even more crazy. Like, I would love to see, like, I'm going to go deep cuts. Like, Coralie Fairgeau's, like, Weasel show, I think would be crazy. Plastic Man. Or, like, if you want to go really deep cuts, like, Coralie Fairgeau's Challengers of the Unknown would be unbelievable. Like, I would love to see her come into the DCU. And the reason why I think she might is because she deserves a money movie. Like, you know, she's made some incredible films. She's got nominated for Oscars. Like, give her a nice paycheck. Let's get her in there. Let's get her a great, like, a great money movie where then she can go and make an independent movie that just goes crazy. That's what I would like to see. That'd be very cool. Mm-hmm. That would be awesome.
I'm gonna go. Here's the thing. I'm gonna go with some big names for mine.
Okay.
But they would be gets. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I would love. Well, one. Mike Flanagan directed or wrote the script for Clayface. I would love to see him come in and then direct something, especially if Clayface is successful. I bet they're going to want him on his radar. Mm-hmm. Keep them in the studio. I would love to see Brad Bird do another live action movie.
Okay.
I'd be very pro about. Now, ask me the project. I have no idea, but I'd be pro it. I would love as they get deeper and deeper into kind of the mystic side of the DC universe. I would love if they could swing Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, buddy.
Like a Guillermo del Toro Zatanna movie would be pretty special. Or fuck it, give him Wonder Woman. We don't even have to go mystical. Give me Guillermo del Toro's
Solomon
Wonder
Grundy.
Woman. Why not? Solomon Grundy. There you go. And for my last one, and this would be if they manage to pull this off, I would love to see Edgar Wright in the DC universe.
It would be an interesting redemption for when he almost was in the MCU.
It would be a very interesting redemption, and what that tells me is that he does want to make a superhero movie to some extent, right? Obviously, he was very close with Ant-Man. I think it's just finding the right project for Edgar Wright's style, and I think it's The Flash.
Yeah.
I think you could have a lot of fun with the speedster scenes.
And something that just occurred to me, too, because I said at the beginning of mine, like, oh, big directors don't really want to come in, you know, and work on this. But they make Elseworlds. Like, who's to say, like, I'm pulling this out of my ass, but who's to say Denis Villeneuve's like, I have a good idea for Green Lantern, but I can't take it place in the universe? Or are they going to be like, no? They're going to be like, here's $200 million, go crazy, baby, I want to see it. Like...
What about a live action Creature Commandos with Del Toro?
I'm in for that. Only if David Harbour comes back as Frankenstein.
He would have to.
Yes.
But no, that's a great question. I mean, there's so many talented I mean, like, obviously you want the big names, right? I would love to see a Steven Spielberg superhero movie, you know, but obviously I don't think we're in a reality where that's going to happen. But I mean, there's plenty of other names. I'd love to see if Jordan Peele was interested in getting into the game. I think that would be a very fun get. I think there's so much talent out there right now. I am curious, do you think there will ever be a time where he can steal from Marvel Studios?
Clarify.
Like a Jon Favreau, like a
Oh, for sure.
I don't Taika Waititi's been on a losing streak lately, but like a tight, like pulling a name like that out of the hat and being
Oh.
like, "Hey, come over to me now."
100%.
Chloe Zhao's.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, let me tell you something right now. Fucking Eternals rules, okay? I'll die on that hill as well.
That's who you give authority to.
Nick, you've just nailed it. You've nailed it. Give Chloe Zhao the Authority movie. Yes, I love it. I love it, Nicholas.
What's the directing equivalent to a casting director? I could just do that all day.
A studio head?
I could do that. I could be a studio head. I've watched the Seth Rogen show.
Yes. Oh, God. Executive producer. Oh, man. Yeah, no, there's a lot of interesting stuff there. A lot of interesting stuff. Thank you, Anthony, for the question. Oh, man. This was chaotic, but in a fun way, Nicholas. I appreciate it.
I had a great time on this episode.
Me too.
Thanks,
Guys,
Anthony, for that question, too. That was a great question.
Yes. And again, guys, go check out his channel. It's an amazing channel. Would love to collab with you sometime. Your work is excellent. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching the episode. The audio only will be available next day if you didn't catch parts of it. How you would hear this part at the end, who knows? Just still felt like I had to say it. Again, if you want to protect your information, youtube.com, or not youtube.com, Jesus Christ, nordvpn.com/movie nights, and sign up for NordVPN using our affiliate link. You'll help out the channel, and you'll be protecting your information online. Guys, thank you again, as always, for watching, and we will see you on the next episode.